Hi there. You heard of GamesGrabber? It's my newest sponsor. You should follow my profile. The link's in the description. At GamesGrabber, I have these collections, and I have like collections of my top 10 videos, amiibo, camera equipment, things you can buy there. You should consider following my profile on GamesGrabber. In fact, if I follow you back, we can send messages back and forth. There's like notifications too. It's a new feature in GamesGrabber. You should consider following me on GamesGrabber. It's really cool. I think you'll really like it. I think you'll really like it.
Nathaniel Bandy. Striving for originality. This top 10 intro is brought to you by VectorStar Productions. Super Mario Kart, the OG version, dude. This is the one that I'm not very good at, simply because I've played it the least. It's still a ton of fun though, and today we're gonna look at the hardest Super Mario Kart tracks. So without further ado, let's go. Oh yeah, today we're starting off the list with Mario Circuit 4. So, I'm gonna be honest guys, this track isn't like super difficult or anything, but that's because about half the tracks in this game are relatively easy. And out of the hard, easy ones, this one makes the cut. While there aren't too many obstacles to worry about, there's a ton of turns and stuff that will force you to slow down and drive carefully. There's a straightaway with a bunch of pipes in the road, which can be a hassle to get around if you aren't careful. The turn after that is incredibly sharp, and it's one of the hardest turns to make on this track. What makes it hard is that after completing the turn, the road gets really skinny for a bit of time, and that makes it a lot harder. There is a shortcut you can take on this track, but you'll definitely need a mushroom to get across without losing too much time. There's other pipes found at the end, but quite frankly, this track isn't too bad. That one super sharp turn about halfway through has caused me to lose several races though. You really just need to be careful of what you're doing. So, Mario Circuit 3. Well, it looks pretty similar to Mario Circuit 4 aesthetically. Dang it, Nintendo. I'm a spoiled man. Give me variety here. Now, I picked this course to be in the 9th spot over Mario Circuit 4 because some of the turns here are even more ridiculous. There's one in particular that is practically a 180-degree turn. I mean, come on, game. How do I react to that? Oh, wait, I'm reacting. I got copyrighted, channel terminated, sued. I'm in jail. This sucks. There are some pipes to help you not run into the sand, but even bumping into those make you lose some speed, and let me tell you, running into anything in this game is like the worst thing ever. There's so many things that's unfair about Super Mario Kart. The computers have items you can't access, but they can use them at any time. I'm not saying this game is bad, okay? But you're crazy if you think Super Mario Kart is the best version. It has not aged well.
Number 8.
Koopa Beach 2 is literally NASCAR, guys. You just drive left the whole time. Well, okay, there's some big differences. You're out on the beach and driving through puddles of water. There are some big holes of water that you need to watch out for because you can get trapped inside the hole. Now, I've never understood how you can drive out of the hole just by jumping. I mean, yeah, you can jump in this game, but the jump ain't high enough to jump out of a deep, dark puddle of doom. Are there springs at the bottom or something? Aside from those water holes at the beginning, all you really need to worry about is staying out of the leafy sections and avoid the bloopers. Touching a blooper can actually cause you to spin out, so you best watch out.
Number 7.
Oh goodness, the dreaded ice levels. Vanilla Lake 1 is like trying to eat a vanilla ice cream cone, but the whole thing is trapped in a block of ice. Then when that block of ice melts, all you got is a watery mess, and nobody wants that. The entire track is covered in ice and snow. Ice is slippery as all can be, and the snow will slow you down. So basically, you don't have control throughout the whole race. The most difficult part of this track is the snow mounds scattered all around. When you run into one, it slows down a ton, but the mound goes away. These snow mounds are so infuriating, but thankfully they don't respawn. There's also this lake shaped like a star, which is easy to avoid, but if you fall into it, then it's game over for you. I mean, you might as well just hit start, move the cursor to the yes button, watch the screen flash, and retry. And that's what you call filler in writing. That was like 5 seconds. fun. There's also a lot of pipes to avoid, and it normally wouldn't be that bad. The problem is the road and its slipperiness. It would be cool if you could jump into one of the pipes and it takes you to under the stage and you just drive around underneath. See, that would have been a spectacle for Mario Kart 8, but no, instead we get Pink Gold Peach or Cat Peach or Tanuki Mario. Ugh.
Number 6.
Now we're getting to the tricky stuff. Bowser Castle 2 is a nasty course for the Flower Cup. All the turns are 90 degrees sharp, which isn't too much of a problem. The real issue is the thwomps. These guys are placed in just the right spots to piss me off to no end. It's hard to tell where exactly the thwomp will land because the depth perception isn't the greatest. I mean, I can't blame the developers for not trying. It's more or less the SNES's fault for not being powerful enough for that kind of technology to really work well. I do like the inclusion of the jumps, but you must make sure that you're going a normal speed to make it across. If you use a mushroom over a ramp, you just might launch yourself into some steamy lava. Running into the walls is really a problem too. It slows you down so much. With all the roads being narrow, it's hard to avoid running into a wall the entire race. There's even a troll road that leads you into lava, and you can't even clear it with a feather item. Or at least I've never been able to. Can you? A triple dog dare you to try, boy.
Number 5.
Oh, Bowser, now you're just getting irritating. Bowser Castle 3 is a lot like what we just discussed, but the turns are even more obnoxious. Right from the bat, you better make sure you drive perfectly to the left or you're going to run into these corners. There's a lot of turns where if you don't drive perfectly down the road, you'll turn into a corner and lose a ton of time. I don't know why they're there in the first place. I mean, it's total bullcrap. The thwomps are placed again in really annoying spots, but I should also mention that getting squashed by a thwomp is probably the worst thing that can happen to you in this game. Like seriously, the thwomp squashes you and you just slowly float back down. It's cool though that there's a few alternate paths to take across the ramps, but there's thwomps that will try to stop you. At the end there's a 3-way fork in the road and I always find myself running into the barriers in between the roads. I probably just suck at this game, but it shouldn't be this hard to drive straight down one of these 3 paths. And you know, I hate the part where there's 4 thwomps at the narrow section. How on earth do you get through that without total luck of a thwomp being out of your way? And the computer players can just drive through the thwomps? What? Why?
Number 4.
You thought Vanilla Lake 1 was bad? You haven't met its deranged, twice-removed cousin. This ain't like Terminator where the sequel was actually better. It's more like The Mask and the Son of Mask. Yes, I think the first movie was awesome. Don't give me crap because Jim Carrey was in it. While the track is quite short, the snow mounds from the first Vanilla Lake make a return, and I don't like it. There's a part where there's several rows of snow mounds. You basically need to avoid them somehow, or just let the computers take the hits for you. It's also way easier to fall into water this time around. There's water all over the place. In order to do well, you're going to need to jump over parts of the water to get a good time and place well. That's easier said than done, believe me. There's a shortcut that you can take, but the ground is covered in snow. And honestly, this route is practically required as taking the other way risks you getting trapped underwater. I just really hate these ice tracks. I have no control of what I'm doing for the entirety of the race, and that's just frustrating.
Number 3.
At number 3, we have Ghost Valley 3. Why is this course so difficult? The turns you have to make are so awkward for starters. You'll be going one way, but then the road just kind of takes you into another direction and you don't really expect it. A large majority of the road has no boundaries, so you're pretty screwed if you fall at all. There's a ton of holes in the ground too, and they're pretty big. There's this ramp, and if you're playing with computers, you can use a boost to jump over one of the holes. It's pretty scary because aiming in the wrong direction will get you shreked. Come on, Shrek is a word. Stupid word processing program highlighting it in red. Get out of my swamp, autocorrect. I'll squeeze the juice out of your eyes. And it's actually quite good on toast. It seems like the boardwalk is almost as slippery as the ice in Vanilla Lake, but maybe that's just me. When running into one of the boundaries, that block you hit disappears into the blackness. It can make the race a bit harder if you're constantly running into the boundaries, but otherwise it's just whatever.
Number 2.
Shocker of the year, Rainbow Road is at number 1 on my list. Are you really surprised though? I mean, I'm supposed to be like striving for originality or some shit. So this has to be the hardest Rainbow Road track ever created. There are no boundaries, the turns come up fast, and there's no room for goofing around. The hardest part of Rainbow Road is the freaking thwomps. These aren't just your ordinary everyday thwomps though. They blink. It's like they ate a bag of stars or something, because if you just touch a thwomp, you'll spin out, lose some of your coins, and come to a complete stop. And you know what usually follows up with that? Getting squashed by that same thwomp. Again, touching a thwomp stops you on your track, so it's really hard to gain enough speed to move past it afterwards. The roads are incredibly narrow, so if you aren't a heavy character, you better hope that someone doesn't knock you around. And as much crap as I give Jacob from Digicades about how this track sucks, the reality is that I sometimes have fun with this. I do hate how overpowered the thwomps are, but nobody can completely hate a Rainbow Road. So what else is there that could be harder? And now the number one hardest Super Mario Kart track is Donut freaking Plains freaking 3. Where do I even begin? You got some bridges to drive across with holes in them. You fall down the hole, you get to go for a nice swim. There's a bridge farther up that has a huge gap in it in which you literally have to jump over it and immediately take a sharp turn after that. The road is so narrow, and even the parts that you can drive on have dirt mounds which are slippery. Mountie moles will get all in your business too, because it's so easy to drive into their territory. I have a question though. Why are the moles jumping in and out of the water? Since when did they appear there? Donut Plains 3 is just a disgrace. I hate it more than anything else in this game. It's just so bad. So like or dislike this video. Leave a comment and tell me, what do you think are the hardest Super Mario Kart tracks and why? Hop on the Bandy wagon and follow my Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Tumblr. Thanks for watching so much. Have a great day if you can. Are you in class watching YouTube videos? Oh, that's a bad student. Well, if you're going to continue to be a bad student, you might as well watch the top 10 coolest Mario Kart Super Circuit tracks, because why not? Also, there's a top 5 Double Dash / DS Battle Mode tracks. Woo! That one sounds very unique. And F-Zero GX Let's Play? Wow, that's so cool. But please, focus on your studies. That's important.